Okay, welcome to the Dave and Bear Show, episode 2. How's it going, Bear Hugger?
What's going on, man? Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Today, I'm not doing a Dave's Had Enough show, and we're doing it on Thursday. I was going to do it last night, but I didn't really feel like doing it, and you said you were tired too, right?
Yeah, I was tired as shit, man. I wasn't feeling well last night.
Yeah, I don't blame you, and I don't really like doing podcasts back to back. Like, I never like doing that.
Yeah, that shit can get annoying sometimes, man. But I mean, look at me. I did one yesterday for like, what, 4.5 hours? Fucking hell.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, yeah, you too, like, being in that one that long, I wouldn't want to be in another podcast too. And once I do a podcast that day, I don't really like doing another one. I'm not big on it. And one thing I want to say in the beginning of the podcast, there may be a week or so what's going to happen eventually. I don't know when, if it is going to happen. I just lately been feeling like I'm going to take a break from podcasts for like a week or two. It might be coming up soon. It might not never happen. So if you don't see me doing podcasts, that's why. Because I'm getting to a point sometimes. I don't know about you, Bear Hugger, but do you get to the point where you just get tired of doing podcasts? Like, you really like doing them, but do you get burnt out with them?
Yeah, from time to time, yeah, I do get burnt out sometime when I do podcasts every once in a while. Especially, I mean, it is kind of stressful, man, because you have to like keep an eye on the chat. You got to deal with trolls. You got to deal with a lot of people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So. But I mean, I don't mind doing them because I do love speaking my mind about certain things, especially when it comes to gaming related stuff. But yeah, I definitely see what you mean. Though it can get you definitely easily can get burnt out really quickly from doing a lot of podcasts.
Well, see, I've been doing them now consistently since I've started making videos, pretty much, and I don't never take a break from podcasts. There was one time I took like a 3-week break from doing podcasts, and I think that was around the time the whole thing went on with with Clown Meat, or it was one time something was going on with Clown Meat where he took a break, but he came back. That wasn't before it all. It was before all that stuff happened. That was when he took his first break, and then I just decided to take a break too. But I have consistently, other than that, have always done a podcast every week. Now I'm doing up to 2 podcasts a week of my own. And it's just burning me out, you know?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So my goals with the whole podcast thing is maybe some weeks you might just see the Movie Tweaker podcast, and some weeks you may just see the Dave and Bear show, or you might just see the Dave's Had Enough show. But there will be a break coming up most likely where I won't be doing podcasts for like 2 to 3 weeks, and I'll just be doing videos. I still will do videos and everything else, but just podcasts. And I have a lot going on right now with life itself, so that's another thing that could be stressing me out. But I love podcasts, but I'm getting burnt out on them. I am. It's not that I'm going to quit the podcast or anything, but I'm just going to take a break and then see where I'm at with that, you know. But I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know exactly if it's going to happen, but I'm just giving you guys a warning. That's why I didn't do a video about it. Other than that, the Hitman trailer was revealed. It wasn't like a gameplay trailer or anything. It was just basically a trailer showing us some weapons, of like actual weapons. Did you see it by any chance?
No, I haven't seen the Hitman trailer yet. No, I wasn't even aware that there was even one out. I haven't been following up with a lot of gaming news like I used to all the time before, because most of the time it's just all filled with fucking rumors, speculations, and plus I was avoiding it for a long time because of all the NX bullshit. But no, I wasn't aware there was actually a new trailer out, man. Is it good?
Yeah, it's called The World of Assassination trailer, and it shows you a bunch of different weapons and like a clown mask and stuff, and basically tells you different things like, oh, you don't know who this person might be, but this could be a hitman, and you know, it tells you a bunch of different scenarios, but no gameplay. And you know, Hitman is coming out in March. I think they do have a release date. I know it's March, but I don't know the exact release date. And we know the whole debacle going on with Hitman, that's going to be episodic.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping that it goes back to like the way Blood Money played, because Blood Money was like definitely the last Hitman game that I played during the OG and Xbox days that was actually really, really fucking good, man.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care for Absolution too much. I mean, I played a little bit of it though, and I didn't really. I mean, I could see what they were trying to do with it. I guess they were trying to make it more casualized, to make it a little bit more open wider to a bigger audience, but it kind of backfired with all the fans. So yeah, so hopefully this new one, I mean, disregarding it's episodic, and that's another thing I can't really stand to, because I can see a lot more developers, you know, taking advantage of that, like Final Fantasy VII, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm hoping that it at least is good, and it's at least plays to the advantages of what the fans been asking for since like Blood Money came out. So
Well, there's a lot. There is some people I know, like Ozzy, that's really excited for the
Oh
upcoming.
yeah, he is. He is. Goddamn.
He's like, Dave. He's like, you're getting Hitman, right? I was like, well, there's a lot of games coming out in March, and I'm not loaded when I'm not going to be that loaded when it comes to March. I'm having enough money to get a few games, but not all the games I want. And Hitman is a game that I want, but if Hitman does come out episodic, like it most likely will, I'll pay the $5 for the first episode or $10. It don't bother me for that.
It might be a little bit more than that, wouldn't it? Though.
I
No,
didn't know.
Yeah.
No,
It'll probably be less than that.
I think it's going to be like $5-10, something like that. I don't see them going too crazy because every game I've seen come out episodic has been, something like $5 or $10. So I just like Ozzy was asking me one night. He said, "Is it all going to like a first episode? What do you think? Do you think it's going to take place in one little area and that's it, or what do you think?"
Yeah, I could see maybe like the first episode, like having maybe up to like, I don't know, maybe your top of like 5 main missions with some like side missions you can do just to keep like at least people somewhat interested until the next part comes out. But I mean, if they do it like in story chunks, which obviously the game is gonna obviously do that, do it like that. But I don't know. I feel like if they do it in story chunks, man, at least give at least like maybe 3 or 4 chapters at least, along with like, but make it have like a little bit of extra replay value behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And people are kind of like, oh shit, okay, I'm doing this now. I have to wait for the next episode. And plus, we don't know like how long each episode's going to take in between months. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's going to be the release date for Hitman is, I believe, March. Just pulled it up, March 11th.
Oh, okay.
So that will be out March 11th, most likely the first episode, and I guess I don't know how long it's going to take to get the whole game out. What would you think? Like,
probably. No, let's see here. Well, have they said how many episodes is going to be?
I haven't read up that much on it. Where I don't think they dropped that. They're just telling you episodic, but I don't know.
Yeah, generally, usually when it comes to episodic games, usually are anywhere between like 5 to 6 max. So if there's gonna be, well, let's just say on average, if there's gonna be at least 5 episodes or 5 episodes of that. Probably, I don't know, maybe like kind of like with the way like Life is Strange was every 3 months. Like 3, 6, 9. I don't know. Maybe like every 2 or I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But
I hope they don't do nothing like that. That'd be
yeah, that would be a definitely yeah.
that'd be terrible. Like
that would be definitely would be
doing something like that. But yeah, they did show the new. See, that's what's weird though, man. They're showing right here a collector's edition of Hitman. You get a Hitman statue with him sitting on a chair. It looks cool as fuck. So I guess that's going to be released when the whole game releases. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be like, from what I understand when I was reading that, because I've seen that article for like the actual limited edition. It's gonna be basically like, I guess like it comes with like a redeem code for like a season pass, I guess, in a sense, or like an episode pass, or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it.
Is there a beta for Hitman?
I heard there was supposed to be one. Yeah, I heard.
Here, enter a live world of assassinations. Pre-order the all-new Hitman to get an invitation to the beta digital download. Pre-orders are currently available.
That's interesting. I wasn't aware that. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then they
do a beta for, man. Unless there's going to be like some kind of online component to it.
Well, then they have the collector's edition. That's going to come out. That is aimed for. What is it? Hold on. I think there's a date here. That can't be right. I might be wrong.
Yeah, that's the first I've heard about a fucking Hitman beta. That's just fucking weird to me, man.
Yeah, this must be when you pre-order the collector's edition. It says January 14th, 2016. That has to be something. It says something with I think Steam, or something. I could be wrong. I don't want to. This is some site I'm looking. I just looked for the release date of it, and they're just saying some other things. I don't want to quote. It could be wrong stuff. I don't know. I never seen this site, but they did the release date. The release date sounds legit. The 11th. That does sound legit because I know it's coming out in March. But they're talking.
My interest, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So you got that, the Hitman trailer. Then they showed a Doom trailer today, and they actually confirmed the release date for May 13th, 2016. The release
Day
date.
one buy. That's gonna be a day
Yeah.
one buy. I'm already pre-ordering that, man.
The trailer looks awesome. Like he uses somebody's head as like to open the door. It looks great. I can say I played the beta. That's all I can say. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not saying nothing. I really, at those. But yeah, basically they showed the gameplay trailer. I guess for the camp. I believe it's called the campaign trailer or something. Did you see that? Or
Yeah, the campaign trailer. I've seen that one. Yeah, that game just looks better and better the more I keep seeing it, dude. I can't wait. And plus, after experiencing the multiplayer beta, dude, which I still can't talk about because I'm still under NDA for that. All I'm gonna say is, dude, man, it's just, dude, I want it. I
yeah,
want it. It's gonna bring back. It's gonna bring back that old school Unreal Tournament kind of style, fucking like Twitch shooter kind of feel, dude, man. And I'm all fucking down with that, bro, man. Hell yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be. I think this has chance. This, in my opinion, could be game of the year if done right. I think it will. That's just me. I'm looking forward to doing big time.
Oh shit, Jacob! So you actually got away with that, dude? I heard about that earlier today about Hitman's pre-order having a glitch on Amazon, man, where you can pre-order for like $15 for the whole entire game. Yeah, dude, man, Amazon fucked up. Yo, I'm glad you snagged that though, Jacob. You got lucky, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me load up the live.
I love it when Amazon fucks up like that. But to answer your question though, Kong, man, like what drops this month, I pulled up a list here on PlayStation Now for everything that's coming out, man. I mean, like outside from the stuff that's already got released there, like this week. Let me just scroll down a little bit here. So next week you got fucking Alekin's Gun. That's a game that was supposed to come out there fucking like back in October of last year, but it got delayed or something like that. I've never even heard of that game until I first came up about it, like back in like September when I first heard about it. And it looked kind of like an interesting mafia kind of game, if that makes sense. But like I've never seen anybody talk about that game, like not even from Sony at all. Period. I haven't like nothing. I've never seen it.
I haven't seen nothing on that game yet. It looks good.
Game, yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of interesting for a third-person mafia style kind of game, dude. It looks kind of interesting.
Wait a second. I did see something on that. Yeah, I just didn't know what it was. I know what you're talking about. That did look interesting. I know what you're talking about.
And then there's Arsalan, the Warriors of Legends. I played the demo for that. That's a Tecmo Koei Dynasty Warriors kind of game. It's like an anime style game. Let's see here. Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia. Then, of course, the Trilogy Pack is also launching the same day. Dying Light, the following DLC, along with the actual enhanced edition, retail wise, it's gonna be like $70 over here where I live, or something like that. I think it's like 50 for you, I think. Firewatch, which I'm actually really looking forward to. That's another game I'm actually excited to play. What else is there? That Naruto game. Don't give a fuck about that. Unravel comes out too as well next week. What else? So I'm looking for all like the main stuff, man. Let me see here. Layers of Fear. I heard that was supposed to be an interesting game too as well from an indie side, but whatever. Street Fighter 5 that launches there in 2 weeks.
Are you getting that, or what's your
not day one? Not right away. No, I'll get it eventually. But yeah, but that game, I'm getting it, just not day one because I
don't know. The Street Fighter really depends on if a lot of my friends get it. I'm not buying another fighting game nobody's playing, and they all talked it up. So I went out and bought Mortal Kombat Collection.
And that game died out real quick.
Nobody played it. So.
Let's see. Is there anything else here? Let's see. Far Cry Primal. That's dropping this month, and I don't think that game is going to be a huge seller at all.
No.
Garden Warfare 2 is coming out this month, near the end of the month.
That'll be good.
Pretty much it, man. So yeah, there's a couple decent ones, man. I mean, outside from like a couple indie ones I'm playing on Snag, and yeah, there's nothing really else that I want that's coming out this month as far as any big titles go. But
March is where it begins. That I like Heavy remastered right off the rip. Like that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, you got. I had the list pulled up here. So you got Heavy Rain coming out. You got Mortal Kombat XL. Let's see here. What else you got? The Division. UFC freaking 2. What else is there? Republican. That game looks pretty good.
I think you got Walking Dead. Michonne. She's got because
yeah.
A lot of people don't know. Walking Dead Telltale's games. They're releasing 2 Walking Dead games: the regular season 3 and Michonne's side story.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty dope, man. I'll have to get that too as well because I already own the first 2 ones. I still have to get around to beating them, but eventually I will. But definitely looking forward to those 2 for sure. Yeah, I think isn't that coming out in March though, or in April?
Yeah, the Michonne one is. I don't know when the other one is, but Michonne, I believe, is coming out in March. The Michonne story.
Yeah, so yeah, there's definitely quite a bit of games that drop next month for sure, man. Definitely for sure.
And UFC 2 comes out in March. That's my biggest, highly anticipated game. I'm definitely getting that.
The only two that I'm definitely getting right away in April though is Dark Souls 3 and Ratchet and Clank. Uncharted, I'm going to wait on for a little while.
Yeah, now getting into Bloodborne, I would like to play Dark Souls 3. I just don't know if I can get that day one. I want to get my thing is was going to be I was going to get Plants vs Zombies, but I with the beta, I don't know if I said this in a video. I liked the game. I thought it was great, but to me, I played the first one so much, I got burnt out with that game because at the time I was friends with Clown Meat, and that's all he played. So we played that constantly. And to me, I played the beta for a few days, and on the last day I played it, I was like, this is just like, to me, it was like being in the first one again. Wasn't that the game exactly like the first one, just to me, I played the first one so much, I burnt myself out with it. I will get it, just not day one. The ones I will be getting day one will be The Division, UFC, Uncharted 4, and I want to get Heavy Rain. I want Heavy Rain because I never got to play that, and I love those type of games, especially
I played Heavy Rain last year. I just never played Beyond Two Souls.
And Doom's a day one buy. I'll be getting Doom. But those
are going to be fucking mint, man.
Now, when is like Quantum Break coming out? Like, when's that coming out? I know that's coming out.
I'm pretty sure didn't they say that was coming out in March or April?
I think
early April or late March. I think they said
it was April. April,
yeah, it might have been April. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if that gets delayed. No, April 5th. That'll be April 5th, and that's one
Remedy already came out and said the game is technically done. It's just going through bug testing right now and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, April. I think that's going to be a great game. Michonne's. The Walking Dead is in February. That's what it's showing up on here.
This month. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's coming out.
Going to be what near the end of this month? You reckon?
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be this month. Yeah, there's so many games coming, and I didn't notice how soon this all was. Like I thought I had a little bit more time for some reason with everything going on, but I was like, shit, this is right around the corner.
Yeah, that's actually holy shit. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be next month, but I guess not. Damn, it's a lot sooner than I expected myself to as well. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's all the release date stuff. And there's more. And then they had some article with Kojima and Del Toro. They will reunite this month for a special presentation. Did you hear anything about that?
That I'm actually kind of interested to listen to because I want to see if they're actually, now that Kojima's not with Konami anymore, and seeing how much praise that little PT Tech demo fucking did for everyone that owned the PS4 at the time when that came out last E3, I think it was. No, the year before. I would like to see them actually reincarnate like that game, but like obviously they have to call it something else, not related to Silent Hill anymore because that's Konami's IP, sadly. But yeah, I would like to see him actually do something now because now that Kojima's on his own, he has his own studio now. I fucking say, yeah, go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm. So everybody's wanting the what's that PT game? Everybody's hoping that.
Yeah. I honestly, dude, I can see them doing it, man, because I can see Sony actually fucking helping to fund that game to get it made, man.
Yeah, people are dying for that.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think they did with what they created with that game? What, did they just throw it in the garbage, or what do you think they have it saved somewhere, ready to?
More than likely, I think fucking like the direction that they wanted to take, because that demo was actually supposed to be like something to show off, like what they were planning on doing for Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not exactly sure fucking why that got canned. I have no idea as to why. Maybe that could be when the whole entire Kojima thing started during the development of that. I don't know. But that whole entire thing, like a lot of people were pissed when Konami came out and announced that they were canceling the Silent Hill game and shit, man. And that project wasn't going to be made anymore. I don't know. I have no idea why, which is kind of odd because that demo alone got so much fucking praise, man. You would think Konami would jump on the fucking hype wagon for that. So I don't know what the fuck happened there.
Yeah, I don't. I played the beta, or not the beta, the demo for PT. That if I would have played the regular game, it would have been fine. But the demo, that baby drove me nuts. I know you had to pay attention to what went on in the beta to get past, or demo. I don't know why I keep saying beta. You had to pay attention to everything, but eventually you you learned what was going. You had to listen to the radio and everything. And I didn't do that. I was like, why am I stuck on this fucking baby scene? It was driving me nuts, and I wasn't paying attention to something. And every time he kept walking around, it keeps like keeping you in like the Twilight Zone. It was driving me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's even to this very given day, people are like, there's still a lot of stuff that people haven't experienced yet in that game, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I mean, I think that's why I got a lot of praise. I mean, shit, you even see people putting up PS4s on eBay with that demo attached to it on like a fucking random ass PSN account, dude. Like people are buying that shit, man, for expensive prices, man, just to play. And you would, like I said, you would think Konami would jump on that, dude, and why they didn't? They're fucking stupid as fuck. They really are, man. Konami is a shit company now, man. I don't know what the fuck happened to them, dude.
No, I don't know. They're just they're one of them companies that are just gonna fade out, just like, but they're gonna go out.
Which is a real shame because I mean, like, look how many games fucking Dave, fucking have made over like the generations and shit. They made a lot. Castlevania, for example, that series is fucked.
But somebody made a good point one day. I forgot who said it. You might have even said it. I don't know. Somebody said, like, what have they done? I think it was Grimpachi, now that I think about it. He said, basically, they've done a lot of great games, but what have they really done lately? And if you really look, they haven't done nothing fantastic.
That's what they've been doing lately.
What?
Pachinko, that casino.
But if you really think about that, it makes a lot of sense. Like, everybody don't want them to disappear as a gaming company. Like, at the time, some people were upset, some people wasn't. But, like, what have they done lately besides PT? Like, that whole thing.
Outside from Metal Gear Solid, there was nothing else. It was nothing. Yeah. Before Metal Gear came out, and even now, there's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
I don't know what the fuck happened to that company, dude. I have no idea. Like, I think, Konami went down a shit too for me when they made that deal and fucking made that Castlevania Lords of Shadows, whatever the fuck you want to call it there, because they made two games for that. And then they made that spin-off game on the DS, which eventually came out for last-gen consoles as well, that fucking Mirrors of Fate, which fucking, that game sucked. Completely sucked because it ruined everything that I loved about the franchise. So, So that series went down a shit tube. So I don't know what the hell Konami's doing, man, but if they want, like, they came out a while back there and stated that they wanted to actually, we weren't done with the console industry. They kind of flip-flop on what they said beforehand because I'll do the backlash. But as far as them doing anything else, more than likely, probably not.
Yeah,
I've been quiet for a long time, with the exception of Metal Gear, man. That's it.
Well, they did say something in an article that they would work on another Metal Gear or something. They're getting some people together for another Metal Gear. I don't know if you've seen that article.
But it's not going to have the same fucking kind of mentality, man, the way Kojima fucking would have made it go, man. I guarantee it, like, if they're going to bring out a new Metal Gear Solid, which is obviously going to make sense because that's their bread and butter for their company now, because that's how much money. I mean, look how much the goddamn fifth one sold. But at the same time, so if they are going to bring out a brand new company, or not a new company, but if they're going to bring in, like, new people into this franchise, dude, it's not going to be the same. They're going to fucking completely ruin it, man.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Metal Gear. I can't say I hated the last one, but my problem with the last one, like I said in many videos, they should have just ended it at the first part. There was no reason to do another part and drag it on more. It just felt like you were doing so much stuff that you didn't have to do over and over and over again. Great game. Like, I would recommend that game to people. Like, I can't say it's a bad game. It's repetitive after a while. But every game's repetitive. But this is like unneeded shit to do over and over and over and over. But I did like it. I like the ending. There's some really cool scenes with Quiet, what goes on in that game.
Yeah. Because I was watching a couple of your live streams for it, man. There were a couple moments in that game, dude. But I mean, like, it seems to me it's like, I don't know. I just get this weird vibe feeling, man. It seems like Kojima himself deliberately made that game fucking like the worst in the franchise, man, as much as he could, because he wanted to get up. Because for the longest time, he kept on saying that he was done. He didn't want to make any more Metal Gear games. He wanted to make something different, but Konami kept on forcing him to stick with Metal Gear. That was it. So I think he just got fed up with the bullshit and got burnt out. He's like, fuck it. I'm not even going to put that much effort into this game. And just take, like, the first half of the game, make it harder for the last half, and go fuck yourself. That's basically what he did. But yeah, Kong, I never said that Lord of Shadows was bad. I said Mirrors of Fate was bad. Because they fucking ruined the story for me, man. Lord of Shadows was okay for a 3D Castlevania game, but that was it. That's the only acknowledgement he'll get out of me.
But yeah, Metal Gear.
Zone of Enders, yeah, Zone of Enders, yeah. I forgot about that game. Yeah, you're right.
I'd be lying to somebody if I said it was a bad game or anything. It's not a bad game. It's just 3 weeks of playing the game every night when I got off work for 5 to 6 hours. I was like, God damn, is this ever gonna end? And they had this like, I'll never forget the bear fucking mission. You're looking for this fucking bear. When you finally find this bear, you have to travel all the way around the map. They wouldn't drop you off on the helicopter on the top. They make you go all the way around on the horse, and then when you get there, you shoot him with darts, and he fucking still comes at you. And then the one time I did it, I shot him with 2 darts, roamed back, and he walked back and fell down and went to sleep. Like, I was like, damn. I was like, this is a bunch of bullshit. I was like, never again. But yeah, basically they're going to be talking Kojima and Del Toro. I like Del Toro. I think he does a lot of great movies. So that's cool. And he does. I think he's involved in this TV show, The Strain, which is fucking awesome. Another thing, have you heard about these Halo 5? They're called Rec Packs.
Yeah. The arena one. Yeah, because I was looking at the link that you sent me there earlier, man. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but haven't Rec Packs been in Halo 5 since launch?
I don't know. This is like a $25 deal. It's a one-time purchase, and then you get some every so often or something. It's like almost like a season pass of Rec Packs, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's kind of like the way like EA does their structure for like their little ultimate team card thing, where you could buy like fucking like these bundle packs, and you get like, or if you pre-order the game. It's similar in the same kind of structure, except these ones you buy individually. It's like when you pre-order the game or like the deluxe edition, whatever you want to call it, you would get like so many packs, and they would go until like up to like 7 or 8 weeks or something like that. I don't know. People, I mean, I haven't heard too much information about people bitching about the rec packs. I don't know. People are like on Xbox that are just stubborn and they just don't care. I have no idea how that works, but I mean, did you say on that website how much it was? I just kind of like I just skimmed through the article.
$25. It says. Hold on. It says, let me get this off the screen. It says similar to the Warzone Rec Bundle, the Arena Rec Pack Bundle is a one-time purchase of $25 and available worldwide. With it, players will have access to the newest armor and weapon skins from 14 premium Arena Rec Packs. Each pack will be released 2 per week for 7 weeks, the same as Warzone Bundle. So, and then the drops are randomized, giving players a greater chance of blocking some of the rarest wrecks, including mythical and legendary items.
I haven't seen the box art yet for the new Doom game. I'll look into that. As far as the rec pack goes, man, I mean, for $25 and you get that much, man. I mean, I don't really know what to say about that.
But you know, this is the problem with it, though. Here's Halo. They're giving you free maps and all that, but then they find another way to make their money. You know, it's bullshit, and that's going to give people an advantage. Like that will give people an advantage. Like that was the one thing about Halo 5. You bought the game, there you go. You know, now they're finding all these ways to make you spend money, and players can get ahead of other players. You know, that's what ruins multiplayer. But,
yeah, I definitely agree with that as well, man. I mean, when you have like, because that was one of the things I remember reading about that before Halo 5 was coming out, when they were talking about the rec packs. They were saying like you could buy like fucking get like legendary items, but if you spend money, you can get like legendary items and whatnot out of like these rec packs and stuff. And I was like, wouldn't that make it kind of like OP a little bit with the microtransaction system or something like that? People have told me like that I've talked to who have owned the game, told me it's like, no, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. So I was like, I don't know.
They're making it's like they're trying to be like Destiny or something. Like sometimes I play Halo 5, I do play the multiplayer every so often, and it reminds me of like Destiny. Like it's like that's what they're aiming for. And I know Destiny got a big influence from fucking Halo. You know, I can't sit here and say that Halo was first, but like even when you play Halo 5, like the end boss, he seems like a fucking boss you'd fight in Destiny or something. Like it reminds me of it's called Halo 5 Guardians. It's like everything's like that.
I mean, man, the Warzone stuff of that. I heard the Warzone was actually a pretty goddamn decent feature in Halo 5.
I didn't even play the Warzone, but one time, and I barely remembered. I just played the team player. That's it.
That bad of an experience? Shit.
No, I didn't think it was bad. It's just something I didn't want to get into. I just like playing team player. I'm a very what's the word I'm saying? Very easy person when it comes to multiplayer. I just like team deathmatch, and that's it. Unless it's something like really good, then I'll decide to give it a shot. But I didn't even try it yet. You know, I just played the regular Team Slayer, and that's good enough for me. Like Grimpachi, I don't think he liked Warzone. I think he played it. He's not a big fan of it. I think. Don't quote me on that. He might say, Dave, I said I liked Warzone. and you can say in the video how much he...
classic Grim for you, man.
So I don't want to say that's for sure, but, you know. Another thing, I guess, did we talk about this yet? Or maybe it was like before the podcast. Uncharted 4, the bundle for Uncharted 4.
Yeah, we talked about it before the podcast.
Okay, so yeah, Uncharted 4 has a bundle coming out. It actually looks really nice.
Yeah, the light blue color. Yeah, that shit looks dope, man.
Now, do you get the headset with it, or like?
No, that's selling separately.
Oh, that's selling separately because it does.
Yeah, they're also going to be selling the controllers later on too, as well, separately, man.
Wait a second. So you don't get so that you do get that controller with the bundle, right?
Yeah. You get the controller with the bundle, but they're selling it. They're going to start selling it individually later on. Kind of like what they did with the anniversary bundle. Like they sold like the anniversary PlayStation, and eventually they sold the controllers separately, which are like fucking overly priced. Is
it a 500 gig or is it a terabyte?
I think it's a terabyte actually.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. No, correction. North America gets 500 gigs. European gets 1 terabyte, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this whole 500 gigabyte consoles, that's not enough. Like I have a 2 terabyte on my PS4, and that's about out of space. So I don't want this fucking 500 gig ain't worth the shit. You need something about at least like my Xbox One 4 terabytes, you know, which I got another I got another 500 gig in the thing, but that's enough space. But 2 terabytes is doable. Like I could work with that for the rest of the generation, but that still isn't enough, you know, at the end of the day. And that's sad how big these games are. But the bundle looks nice. What's it going for, the bundle?
400 in the States. 400, 500 over here for us.
Oh, 400 for a 1 terabyte Uncharted collection. Uncharted.
No, 500 gigabyte in North America. I'm not sure what it is in Europe. But in North America, fucking for you guys in the States, it's 400. For us in Canada, for me, it would be fucking $500.
Well, it is a terabyte though, right? No, it isn't a terabyte. You said
the European version is.
Okay, so you get the 500 gig, you get the Uncharted design, you get the controller, you get the game. I like that design. It's nice.
We also throw in a couple bonus stuff you get for like the actual Uncharted 4 when it comes out, like bonus points from multiplayer and some other skin crap.
Oh, and I'm sure they throw in a nice 7-day trial of PlayStation Plus. They don't even give you like 30.
Yeah. 15 days. Fuck you guys.
2 days. Like, here's a 2-day one. We just made that. No, but it does look nice. I would like to have it. I got mine though. I'm good with mine. It is what it is. But yeah, it does look nice. So look forward to that in April when Uncharted. It comes out same day same day Uncharted comes out, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know why I asked that. I'm like, I don't know. I've been tired lately. Even though I've been going to sleep early, I'm like, it's weird. It's like when you get on another sleep schedule, you're still tired. Maybe I'm tired from stress. I don't know, but I'm half asleep all the time. Another thing that I guess we'll bring up, I was actually playing it before the live stream. I guess the Call of Duty DLC, it did drop. The Awaken DLC, it's actually good. I did not play the zombies yet. I just played the maps. I enjoy all the maps. I guess a lot of people are enjoying it. Call of Duty selling well, but you're not the biggest fan of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, are you, Bear Hugger?
Not in its current state. Not really. No.
Now with you just want them to fix some stuff, right? And then you would like
just like they did with Black Ops 2. Like I hated Black Ops 2 when it first came out, and then I ended up buying it digitally. Like I want to say about 5 months later, dude. And then like they came out with like I don't know, it was like the middle of the year update when it finally fucking actually made the game way better for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. Well, see, I just got the game last week. I barely played.
Yeah, I'm downloading it right now so I can play it with you, but I don't have it in the DLC, and I never bought it.
Well, I still didn't even play the other maps a lot, so I'm new to the whole like game. Like I didn't even play the campaign yet. And I actually do like this Call of Duty. I said I wasn't gonna get it, but I ended up getting it. It's like a curse you can't get away from Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. I mean, you only paid $33 for it, though, right?
Yeah, I only paid
Yeah,
30. Well, how I got it is my friend, he had a gift card. I wouldn't have got my money other ways. And there was no other game. The only game I wanted was Diablo 3, but they wanted $50 for that. And I don't
yeah,
even,
that game doesn't go down in price for whatever reason unless it's on sale, but it hasn't not got a permanent price drop yet.
well, I've seen it on flash sales before for 35, $30. But I was not paying $50 for it. I was not, and they didn't even have. I don't even think they had a new copy in because they didn't have the used for $19.99, which I would have gladly got if they had the used one in for $19.99. But they didn't even have it in my area. I checked other stores.
Yep, my store was like that as well.
So Call of Duty was $39.99 brand new with my 20% discount. It dropped it down to $31 with tax. It was $33, and I picked that up. So I like it. I didn't play the campaign yet, but so far with the multiplayer, I'm enjoying it. I did enjoy the zombies. I just wish there was. Everybody sits here and tells me like, I played the death out of the shit out of Black Ops 2. They sell like with Black Ops 2, you got more DLC maps or no, not DLC maps. You got more zombie maps. Like, what are people talking about? That's one connect. It was all connected.
I'm not sure. I don't really care too much for zombie mode all too much.
Well, they had the barn, they had the train station, and then they had something else, I remember. But I played all different ones. Now, this one, all it has is that one area on it, the regular area.
Well, one thing I will say, though, as far as this version of zombies goes, is like they drastically overhauled like how the game plays out because they added like new mechanics and elements behind it. And it's a huge fucking map, like really, really big. It's like you also get like there's certain things you can find in order to complete like the whole entire area. You have to find like these items for each and every single one of the characters and make them like as a sacrifice and shit. It's kind of weird the way it's designed. But I was confused with that first because normally, because like usually every time when Zombies gets released for Black Ops, man, fucking there's usually at least 2 maps at least at the start.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there was like 3 maps that had like a world, like an actual world that you could move around. And then they released the DLC, and the DLC was like really good. Black Ops 2's DLC was so good, just all around. You have people to this day begging for Black Ops 2 a 5th map pack. To this day, asking for that.
And Black Ops 2 was pretty good, man.
That's how bad. Maybe not now. They're not begging no more because people like Black Ops 3. But I remember with Call of Duty Ghosts and Advanced Warfare, that those games were so bad. You had people begging for a 5th map pack, and the developer at the time, I don't know which one it is, they said on their blogs, they said we're not going to give a 5th map pack. We said that the DLC ends on the 4th one. But yeah. This one has the new zombie. Well, it has Shadows of Evil, and then I don't even know how to pronounce this one. It's like Elsa. I can't even pronounce the name, but basically it says, bound together by a fragile alliance, our heroes pursue to the scattered remains of Group 935 to their mountaintop fortress in Australia Alps. So it looks fucking cool.
I'll throw this there is technically 2 maps. Before the first DLC dropped, but the only way you'll be able to get access to that other map is if you bought it pre-ordered. I think it was like a pre-order fucking like prologue fucking or something like that for the zombie mode. It was fucking weird, man. So they slapped it behind pre-order fucking wall, man.
But was it an actual map you played on, or?
Yeah. It was an actual map you play on, yeah.
Because I didn't even play on the Nuketown map. I got that. That's what the multiplayer.
The Nuketown map is only available in its own distinct fucking mode, which is just all Nuketown, like pretty much basically the entire fucking time.
Okay. I don't know. That's interesting. I do like Black Ops 3. So far, so good. I got to play the campaign. I'm eventually going to play that. Somebody says, can you... All right. Well, he says, hi, I'm new. Can you sub to my channel? Like, everybody asking me to sub to their channel. Like, I'm going to say this, like, right here. I don't mind subbing your channel. I'm not saying that. But for me to go sub to your channel, like, without checking it out, just like the guy asked earlier on my live stream, that does not mean I'm going to watch your videos. Somebody subs to you because they like your content. Just because you have me as a subscriber that don't really... I'm just saying, I'm not saying I don't care for your content, but say I'm just some random dude. A majority of the time, I'm not going to care for your content, and I'm not going to watch your channel. So, me being as a sub that's stupid. When you say Bear Hugger or my...
Yeah, no, I agree with that, yeah.
Okay.
Let alone, like, I mean, like, doesn't really matter, man. You can't really even go based on subs anymore nowadays, man, because like when you go and look at your back end and the analytics, you can see how many of your subs actually watch your videos compared to fucking non-subscribers. Now you will gain some subs from people that are not subscribed to you at the time of that video, but it kind of gives you a better idea. Like for example, like you can sit there with like 10 million subs, and like your videos only average out to like 5,000, like 5 million views, right? Like PewDiePie, for example, has that. Like he's got like 37 million subs, and like most of his videos can't even get past like fucking 15 million. So, but the thing is, like, if you go back and you look at the back end of your actual channel, you can actually see how many of your subs are actually watching your content. Because I was telling you about that a while back there. I remember you did it yourself.
Well,
like you were averaging about 50-50 with between like your subs and non-subs.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah,
explain that to people. Just explain that, like the whole sub thing, like how it shows how many people are actually watching your channel.
Yeah.
Like how it's the anesthetics, right, or analytics, or whatever.
Analytics, yeah. If you go and look under, like, you can type in like whatever your popular video is. Like for me, for example, like my Cube Life Island Survival video that I did for the Wii U, like my highest rated video of like 16,000 views or something, I think it was. I went and looked at that video all the way up from like when it first released, all the way up to this very given day. And like I looked at like from the subs to non-subs ratio, and it was like fucking night and day with non-subs, dude. It was crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only videos that I do on my channel that give me fucking like a 50-50 split, providing that I actually do. I mean, not as of late, of course, but because I mean, let's be honest, my channel's dying, right? But anyway, disregarding that, like Bear Chill Lies, for example, like I obviously get more subs that watch that than non-subs, obviously. But like when it comes to gameplay, or when it comes to like, you know, news quickies, or even Bear Rants, for example, those videos tend to have always more in favor of non-subs than I do subscribers, which is really fucking weird, man. It's really, really weird. But that's how, if you want to get the better understanding of how your channel is actually going, don't go based on how many subs you have. Go based on how many subs are actually watching your videos. That actually give a shit about your content.
Oh, okay.
That's the best way to do it, at least in my books, man. Because like I said, every channel is always going to have more subs than they do views, which is fucking weird. But it's always been that way on fucking YouTube, man. It's weird. It's fucking weird. Because you got to keep in mind, not everyone that is sub to your channel is actually going to watch every single one of your videos. They might, like, I have subs that only watch my fucking Bear Plays Live, or I have subs that only watch my rants, or I have subs that only watch my news videos that I don't do anymore, or my Bear Chill Lives. That's it. It's a variety of content you supply to your subscribers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it is what it is.
Well, I heard somebody said, like, YouTube, I don't know how true this is, but they said YouTube was unsubbing people. Like, if somebody subbed to you, if they don't watch your channel, it unsubs them or so. Did you hear that or no?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
maybe that could be a plausibility. Maybe.
Yeah, somebody said, I was watching this thing where they said that, you know, if they don't watch your channel in a while, I guess it unsubs you from them.
Yeah, like a dead sub just sitting there fucking taking up, like, you know what I mean? Like it's fucking weird, man, how YouTube they're doing a lot of shit behind the scenes that is not in favor to us content creators. That's for fucking sure, man. Because you see videos all the time on people bitching about, like, you know what I mean, like the way they're doing their copyright shit, the way they're doing everything just in general, man.
Mm-hmm.
They changed so much. Like back then, like YouTube was fucking amazing to be part of, man. Like if you got into YouTube early on, like the way PewDiePie did, you're set. But if people like myself or many others that are coming into like YouTube now, dude, man, it fucking sucks. It really, really does.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like a lot of people, I tell a lot of people, YouTube right now, basically like some guy was asking me earlier advice for YouTube, and I actually, you know, I get, when somebody asks me for advice, I'm a nobody, but you know, I just think I find it kind of flattering in a way or something. Like, you know, I would be asking like somebody bigger for advice, but the best advice I could give anybody is just be yourself, and if
that's the only way to do it.
Something you're not, because then in the long run it's gonna show. You know.
Yeah, like the best way, like fucking. I mean, obviously I would never recommend this though, but the easiest way to get like views super fast and super quick, and also get a lot of subs super fast, super quick, providing that you don't stop midway through, is being a drama channel. That's all it is. That's the easiest way to get fucking views and fucking whatever you want to call it on your channel. The fastest way of doing it. The moment like somebody wants to do like stuff about like the way, like for me, for example, I tend to keep that shit away from my channel. I do all gameplay and gaming related content, whatever you want to call it. It's hard, man. It's not easy, but it's all about that initial grinding. If you're willing to grind it out, man, fucking you're golden, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
drama could do good for you, or it could, but in the long run with drama, like I don't think I'm seen. Like I do drama. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't, but I don't think I'm seen as a total like a channel that does nothing but drama. But you could keep doing that, and then you will be seen that way. And then once you're seen that way, good luck changing. It's never
Yeah,
gonna
because the moment you change, man, like I guarantee you, like half of your subs, man, are gonna fucking gone.
Yeah, because like for example, like one of my really good friends here on YouTube, RXL. Like I don't think he could ever be. He's a great channel, but I don't think he could ever be taken seriously as a regular channel.
Yeah, and I've seen like the way he does his gameplay live streams, and he has potential to like fucking. I think that's why he has a secondary channel for that. I think. Like he has potential to actually be a good, decent fucking video game commentator person. You know what I mean? But I mean, with like the way he does his content on his channel, man, he's so into that dude, and like that's where all of his subs are coming from. That's what his subs like to hear him do. You know what I mean? So the moment he steps away from that, it's like it's comfort zone. So the moment he were to step away from that, dude, I mean, that is yet to be unseen. But I think if he actually did decide, like, you know what, I'm not going to make videos about people anymore, or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to go like do something different. It's going to be a huge grind for him, man, to get back up to where he was, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's basically my advice I could give anybody for YouTube. Just be yourself. I'm nobody to give anybody advice of how to be a big successful
Just
channel.
grind it out, man. Be yourself. Like my advice would be is this, man. Like be yourself, dude, man. Just grind it out. Like grinding, it takes a long time to get up there. Like I got lucky when it came to Next Gen. When I did that podcast, like that one-on-one debate with Next Gen, that helped me out a lot. And then when I joined the Dream Team, that also helped me out a lot too as well. So I got lucky. But if I never did both those things, man, I guarantee I wouldn't be sitting at where I'm at now. And even those subs now, it doesn't even matter. Because like
and you were doing YouTube for a long time, right? You've been
a year. It's been. I started a little bit before then. I was known. I told you this before, but I'll say it again here. I was known as. I started my channel up originally as Game Swears. That's what I was planning on doing my channel for. I was gonna like just do just random ass gameplay for anything that I got my hands on, kind of deal. And then when I made up my mind about what console I was going to get first, and obviously Nintendo was my first choice because I always buy their consoles first before anybody else's. And so I was like, you know what? I'll start my channel off with like the Wii U for a while, and then I'll switch it over to like Sony or whatever next console I plan on getting. Because I was originally planning on getting an Xbox first. Because I knew at the time when a lot of the friends I was talking to, like Alex and Koopa and all them, like they were already had an Xbox and they were already had that on lockdown. So I was like, all right, well, I'll do that then. So then I ended up getting the PS4 obviously sooner than expected, and then so I started doing content from that. But my channel originally was always going to be just nothing but gaming related stuff. Not indirectly from Nintendo, and that's the reason why that name barrier scarred me to life, and I would kill to fucking change that name. I really would, but I'm so engraved by that name now, especially with like everything that happened over the last year. I'm stuck with it now. That's why on my Fit and Mephisto channel, it's just strictly all gameplay. You're never going to see anything else outside from gameplay on that channel, like the way I originally wanted it to be. And so I'm growing a fan base there, along with, like, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of subscribers that are on my main channel that also went over there too as well. But I've gained a lot of subscribers on there that never even fucking don't even know my Burger 29 name at all, period. And I'm grateful for that. But again, at the same time, though, I'm kind of blessed with it in a way because I like the fact that my name is being thrown out there. I don't care if it's from a negative terminology. That doesn't bother me in the slightest, man. I like it because it's free publicity at the end of the day. It's the way it is. You know what I mean? No matter positive or negative fucking about another individual, man, it's like you're putting you on like the limelight spotlight. I mean, granted, it's on the crumb side though, but I don't give a fuck, man. It's just free exposure for me at the end of the day, no matter what they say or what they do, man. And I love it. I absolutely fucking thrive on it, man. I think it's great. That's the way to do it, man. I mean, like the moment somebody makes a video about you, you're doing something right. Is basically what I'm going to say, especially in this community. In this community, man.
Yeah, this community, you know, like for example, Obi-Wan Plays. That guy was mad at Nintendo before what he is now. Now what he did was smart. When he did his Mad Nintendo thing, he didn't show himself at all. Now with Obi-Wan Plays, he is all on camera, excited, you know, doing cartwheels, handstands, like he's doing it all.
I don't watch that guy.
No, but I'm just saying, like when I first ran into him, I had the Wii U and I was all about the Wii U. I didn't start making videos quite yet. And he was just reviewing Wii U games, whether it was like, you know, Injustice Gods Among Us to Pikmin. It didn't matter. and he was very calm. Like, he wasn't like how he is now. He was a very calm person, but he knew what he was talking about with his reviews. And then all of a sudden, he just disappeared one day, and I don't think he was where he wanted to be. And then all of a sudden, this Obi-Wan guy shows up, trolling Black Bond. And then all of a sudden, he blew up, and now he took those videos down of him trolling Black Bond. Now he's flagging people, and now
yeah,
and that's the way of YouTube. Like,
but I am glad that video game lover got his channel back, though. So I mean, at least some good came out of that, at least. But still, it was still bullshit.
To be fair, though, he was warned.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he does have a point there. Video game library, like Dave said, you were warned, man. But
yeah, so
at least the strike is gone now. So at least you got your channel back. So that's always the plus side of things.
I don't agree with what Obi-Wan did, but the guy was gonna do it. I guess he stuck to his word, So
yeah, some people like that are bluffing too as well, man. Like, some people will sit there and make a video saying, "Yeah, I'll flag your shit if you make videos about me." I mean, it was something that even I myself thought about doing that, but I was just like, nah. You know what I mean? 'Cause especially in this community, like the moment you decide to like fucking flag something, dude, man, you get labeled as a fucking snitch and shit, dude. You get like that fucking Omega Loser song being played. By the way, that song is amazing. I love that song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, man, but I don't care, man. It's fine.
Yeah, so that's basically that. I guess they just dropped a realistic looking Far Cry Primal trailer. That's another one that came out today. And basically how they started out, it's like the soldiers are in combat, like actual combat, like I'm talking like Private Ryan combat, and then it goes into the actual Far Cry Primal, like back in the day combat, and it's basically it's a guy versus, I think he's fighting a tiger, I want to say, or something. I think a tiger. And basically, what I noticed from the trailer, there's three pre-order missions. Like, when you pre-order the game, you get 3 pre-order missions to Legend of the Mammoth. So it don't look that bad. It's just I'm not saying Far Cry Primal's out of the question for me. I will get it later on. I'm not a day one.
Yeah, same here. I was so let down with the 4th game, man.
I'm gonna
now before you say anything to the chat room, Pachi, I'm sorry, but the 4th game was fucking garbage compared to the 3rd game, dude. I'm sorry, it was.
Yeah, the 4th one, I like the gameplay, but the story is so. Yeah. The story is just drawn out.
The 3rd game actually gave me a reason to want to, go through it and shit like that, man, because it had an awesome protagonist, it had an awesome story. This one here, it's like you don't even give a fuck about the villain, man. It's like you don't even feel.
And you don't even see the villain.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the 4th one, man. But I'm still eventually get around to going through it because I own the game, so I want to get through it at least once. But that game, nah, man, I don't give a fuck about that game.
You see the villain basically in the beginning of the game, and then other than that, you hear him on the radio. And I don't know if maybe the story is interesting. It just doesn't catch my interest. But the gameplay is good. Now the 3rd one, they had such high standards to live up to that villain. Like that villain. I'm not saying like the one in Far Cry 4.
I mean, look how much promotion they put behind that game. I mean, they made a fucking YouTube series with what's his name there, McLovin and shit like that based on that shit. Dude, that shit was amazing, dude. But yet 4 didn't get any of that kind of promotion at all, fucking period, dude. It's like they didn't give a fuck. It's like, what the fuck you doing, Ubisoft? And like, it seems like Primal's gonna suffer the same fate as well. It's like you would think that game would have got revealed at E3, but it didn't. They got a fucking YouTube reveal. YouTube fucking reveal. Like, are you kidding me?
Well, they did say the map, like we talked about, or I talked about one of my last podcasts, the map is big, but it still just seems like it's just like a DLC thing. It just, for some reason,
with that blue, was there that DLC for Far Cry 4 was like a Blue Dragon? I think it was, no, not Blue Dragon. I can't remember what it was called.
And you're gonna be running around with fucking spears and knives. It's
elephants and shit. Dude, that's dope. What the fuck?
I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see.
And yes, Grapachi, I know you can do that in the 4th game. Relax, Jesus Christ.
What did he say?
No, I was just saying that before he said anything.
No. But yeah, they revealed another
mammoths, not elephants, mammoths.
They revealed another trailer to Far Cry today. I guess they're trying to get people ready for that. I guess we'll talk about the Division a little bit because I haven't talked about the beta, but in a video I usually talk about, go over in a podcast. Is there anything you want to talk about with the division that you don't think you have talked about yet very much?
The only thing I haven't talked about yet was the trailer that came out today.
What went on the trailer today?
Well, the trailer that was shown up today was like basically all about the skills, like the the two other categories that weren't accessed in the actual beta. Because in the beta, you only had access to one skill tree, and that was the medic one. But even that was limited. You only had the ability to get the first two skills unlocked. But anyway, but in this trailer, they showed off like the other two categories and shit like that. Like they have like tech, which is like made for like like using like different forms of like technologies and shit, and like turrets and other things you can use. And then the last skill tree was I think it was like fucking that was a lot security. The last skill tree was security. So, but like one of the things that like the trailer was basically set out to do is basically like when you're playing with a group of friends, like mix and match the skills up, man, and shit like that, because it actually gives you an opportunity to really play the upper hand when you're playing cooperatively with friends online. And I can definitely see where they're coming from. Like say for example, like if me and Dave were playing, and like say Procrastination was playing as well, I would roll as a medic, Dave would roll as a tech guy, and then Procrastination will be ballistic. So if you combine those three skills together, man, you'll be fucking sitting pretty, man. You'll be able to like get the upper hand of everything, dude. It's fucking sick the way they actually have it designed. But sadly, no one's gonna play it like that.
Yeah, nobody's gonna play like that. Do you think that this game will replace Destiny?
I keep hearing that a lot, especially in this community, about the whole aspect about Destiny. Now, see, I haven't played Destiny yet, so I can't say anything negative or good about Destiny. But as far as from due to all the backlash that both Division and Destiny has gotten so far, I can understand as to why people would say that. Me personally, though, since I haven't, but like I said, I haven't played Destiny, so I can't make that fair assessment. But to me, it just looks like a fucking like an open online like Ghost Recon to me in a way. That's what I get from it. I don't get Destiny at all from it. Don't get none of those kind of vibes at all. Now, if you're talking about like the way like the game is structured as a whole,
yeah, I think what people
maybe, but again, like I said, I don't know how Destiny plays, man. I only ever played
how the game's structured is basically where they're getting Destiny. It's that's how it is. That's where they're getting it. I don't think the gameplay. It's just how it's structured.
All right. Well, if that be the case, then maybe. But again, I can't make that assessment because
what other games on consoles right now are games like Destiny and the Division multiplayer wise?
What games would I compare that to? Shit, good question. I guess Destiny, just from a third-person perspective, I guess. But see, Destiny though, it's like you have that hub world, right? Which is similar to like the operation bases, I guess, or like certain areas you get access to in the Division where you see all people running around. But
yeah, that's what Destiny has. Destiny has that power.
Demo, so yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what other game I can fucking compare that to, man.
Well, see, Destiny has the hub, like how the Division has. It has the tower, like where everybody's running around and getting their shit together and all that. I mean, it's very similar, but I don't know any other games that are like that on consoles.
Yeah, I mean, outside from like MMOs, but that's different though. Even though the Destiny and Division share a lot of similar MMO elements, but outside from that though, as far as like a game that plays somewhat similar, yeah, Destiny, I guess would, yeah. So I guess no way, yeah, Destiny would somewhat play. I guess somewhat like that, but. As far as I think the Division will definitely have the upper hand as far as like storytelling, I guess, because I know like at launch of Destiny, I'm talking about here, had a very, 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 very lot of controversy with fans about the story and shit, and even content, from what I understand too, as well. You know, like the whole rating shit, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. I think the Division itself, I think, is actually going to be its own separate entity itself, because I'm looking at it from a Tom Clancy standpoint, not from a Destiny standpoint. But that's just me, of course. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, you could be right. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see it goes. But as far as like, I keep seeing people saying that the game is going to die off after the first week. I fucking pray that it doesn't. I just hope that it doesn't, man. I really don't, because I'm beyond hype for Destiny after playing that beta.
What is it like? Good, I didn't want to get into this part yet, but what is it with people wanting shit to not work and die off and fail, and it's just a piece of shit. It's not day one.
It's always like, but again, that's also another common thing though, right? Fucking that essentially like what happens is it's like, I never understood that mentality when a game comes out and people look at the gameplay for the first time but never actually physically play it themselves. They automatically sweep it under the rug calling it garbage or dog shit. I never understood that. You know what I mean? It's like, so like basing your like what you think is going to be dog shit could very well be like an amazing experience if you actually gave it a fucking chance. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
well, I'm
weird,
saying,
man.
what is a game that's going to drop where people are like, oh, okay, this is the game we wanted, blah, blah, blah. Where's that? Because I've seen the game.
You're right. I've never seen anybody ever
So
really say
I've
that.
seen the game drop where everybody hates it. Now, where's the game everybody loves?
Yeah. Well, I think Destiny itself, when it first was announced, I think there was a lot of people saying that this game was going to be amazing, all because of Bungie behind it. But obviously, when the game came out, it got a lot of backlash. But that still didn't stop people from going out day one and buying it, man. Like, it was fucking weird, dude.
I just want to know why does all this hate have to come first? Where's the game they love and they go out and buy? I want to know where that is. Where
you make a very good point, because you're right. Because I don't recall seeing anybody. Like, at least like, let's say, like, if you split the community up to 50-50, right? But I've never seen half the gaming community, at least on YouTube wise, fucking ever sit there and all like agree on like one game being like, oh, everybody wants to play this game. I always see people shitting on games, but I never see too many people really hype, like fucking everyone hyping up one entire fucking entity of a game, dude. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, I don't expect that to happen with an exclusive, because you're always going to have the other fan base hating on it, whether it's Xbox or Microsoft.
No, I do agree with you, One White Kong, about Destiny 2. I think Bungie's learned a valuable lesson with Destiny, due to all like the actual controversy that happened with all the court stuff, whatever you want to call it. So I think Destiny 2 is going to be the Destiny that everybody wanted right from the offset, I think, in my opinion, man. Story's going to be there, better mechanics, better everything, man.
Yeah,
because generally they always fix all the issues. Like when it comes to a sequel, they always fix all the issues. Sometimes that's not always the case, but the majority of the time it usually always is. So we'll see how that goes.
So yeah, basically, and I'm just going to touch a little bit more on Division Beta. I liked it. I'll be getting it most likely day one. Now, with people, if they're going to play it for a long time, I know I will play it all year if I buy it. I don't know about other people.
What, the Division?
Yeah.
Well, like, people are going to find,
as long as it's still playable, like as long as I get on there and have a good time in PvP and stuff, I'll play it all year long, you know?
Yeah, I think people are definitely going to find a reason to put it back in the system or re-download it or keep it installed on their system for a long time, I think, in my opinion, dude. Because if people manage to do it with fucking Destiny, why can't the Division do it? You know what I mean?
Well, now Destiny has raids and all that shit. So if Division does something like that, then they have to do something like a raid, or like, not saying they have to do a raid, but I'm just saying they got to do something like Destiny thought of to get people to keep coming back. You know, what's the level cap on it? Like, what's that? Does anybody?
I think, I remember, I'm pretty sure, I think they said it was going to be fucking 30, I think, or something, or 50 or something. I can't remember what level cap is going to be, man, but.
Okay.
But there's also I'm pretty sure there's going to be other things too as well that Ubisoft is going to be adding into, like, you know, for updates and whatnot, and like features. Like, not like in-game features that are not going to be there day one. I'm talking about like features like in the sense of like certain, like they might add like their own way of doing raids probably with like a group of friends, or they might do something along the lines of that. If you think about it, I'm not entirely sure, but I mean that's one thing that, like, from what they've, like, as far as like events go and like in-game events, like, 'cause they already said that there was going to be like monthly events and shit that you'd be able to do. But I think this is something about it's part of the season pass owners or something. I don't know how the hell it's going to work, but either way, I think personally, I think this game has potential to be a big thing, but like they don't want to fucking like overhype people with all this stuff like that, because, like, you know, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like what basically from what I'm getting at, man, I can understand the hate for it, especially with people that bitch about the downgrades, but that still boggles my mind when people should already be fucking used to this by now from Ubisoft already, for fuck's sakes. But as far as content goes, I mean, yeah, okay, fucking sure. They took out, like, you know, a couple sections of New York City. You know, Manhattan's big enough though. Like, there were people that were honestly sitting there thinking like, you know, what you got in the beta as far as like before you hit that borderline shit, that was gonna be the entire area of the main game. And I'm like, motherfucker, you retarded? There's still a area fucking that was not unlocked in the fucking beta that will be in the game day one. Like, shit.
So they're gonna go by different towns and stuff, like the Bronx, and like, is that how?
Yeah. But see, now people are saying it's behind lock and key of DLC was, which could very well be possible. But at the same time, if you think about it too as well, it's like when you make a big ass open world game like that, and you cut off sections like that, that even like players that don't care about the DLC, man, you're gonna lose fucking interest in that game fairly quickly.
Okay, well, what about like World of Warcraft. You got to pay on that every month, and
But see, but the thing is with World of Warcraft though, like even if you don't buy the expansion pack, man, you could still get access to certain areas, just not everything in period. So I'm thinking what they might do with this game is, it's like for example, like one of the expansion packs for the Division is called Underground, right? So what's to say like it's going to take place in the Bronx, but if you don't own the DLC, you can still get access to the Bronx. You just won't get access to doing all the underground missions from the DLC. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a plausible scenario, but it's gonna be interesting to see how they do it, man. I don't know, but I mean, I'll like if that's gonna be the case, I'll buy the season pass, but I'll wait for the season pass to drop down a little bit in price first before I buy it.
So your advice to people though, like, would you like I always tell people, if you're gonna buy a game like Division, usually plan on buying the season pass at some point or another.
Yeah. I'll just wait for about a month or two and see what like how they're going to approach things and see like you know what I mean, that kind of shit like that. If you are planning on buying it, wait for a month or two after you buy it and see how the season pass goes. And if you think it's going to be justifiable, then buy the season pass. If not, then whatever, sell your game and be happy.
And I mean, if Destiny's not your game, there's so many games out there this year that are coming. I mean, I look at it like this too. Like I'm excited for our Division. I might have said Destiny. I meant to say Division. But to me, I'm excited for it, so I'll be getting it. But if you're not pumped for this game and you don't want to really buy the season pass, I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either, man. I wouldn't either.
Like this is not a game that you're just gonna get and play a little bit. If you are gonna get it, you're gonna want to play it a lot, you know. And if
I will be.
See a lot of other stuff taking up your time, I wouldn't bother with it. That's just me though.
Yeah, Division is gonna be another one of those games that I'm gonna be playing like for quite a while, man. For a while. Because just even in that beta, even when I finished everything, like the 4 main side missions, the main story mission, and all the actual encounters, man, I just had a blast going around and exploring the whole entire the areas that I was allowed to actually explore. Dude, it was fucking fun for me, dude. Going around and picking up materials or looting shit and see what you get, man. And also in random encounters you get from enemies and stuff. Dude, I had such a fucking blast with that game, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I'm excited for it. And you know what? I wasn't let down from the beta. It's pretty much everything I expected, you know.
Yeah,
that's what I thought of the Division when I got the beta. I thought it was pretty cool.
Go ahead.
Oh, anything else on the Division or what did you want to say?
No, I was just gonna say real quick, like the moment when they first revealed the Division at Sony's reveal for the PS4, when they said they was gonna have a lot of MMO elements behind it, it was gonna be a massive open world game online, play with whatever we want to call it, dude. I was like, I need this in my life. I need to play it, man. Because like I said, the first time I saw it and the way the gameplay was, I'm like, dude, this is like Ghost Recon, Advanced Warfighter, man. This looks fucking amazing and shit like that. And I wish. It's a real shame that Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon definitely went to shitter after when Future Soldier came out. So I mean, hopefully Wildlands will definitely bring forth that new Ghost Recon experience. Because what I've seen from that trailer and the breakdown, all the information I've seen so far for that game. Yeah, Ghost Recon looks like they're finally putting Ghost Recon back on the map where it should belong, which I'm really fucking happy for, man. Now I'm just waiting to see if they come out with another Splinter Cell, which I don't think they're going to, but if they do, I'll have to see how that goes. But Blacklist, I actually enjoyed Blacklist for what it was. I was still pissed that Jeremy Irons is gone, but whatever. That's just
I like
Michael Ironside. Michael Ironside.
Now, what was the last? Was the last one called Blacklist?
Yeah, Splinter Cell Blacklist. Yeah.
Okay, what was the one before that nobody liked, including myself?
I fucking loved Conviction, man.
Oh, that was awful. Well, no, what was the one where it was they changed everything? What was that one?
No, Conviction was the one where the series took a whole entire new toll, but it made sense to the story, and that's what people didn't understand. Because people the thing is, I tell people this all the time, and when I explain it to them, they're like, yeah, that makes sense, but it's still garbage. The thing is, it's when you look at a character, right? If you play Double Agent, that game was bad. Double Agent was pretty crappy. But that was the one when you found out about his daughter fucking supposedly being dead, right? In Double Agent. So he up and left Third Echelon. At the end of that game, he was done. He was finished with Third Echelon. He wanted to get away from that crap with that dude because he just lost his fucking child. You know what I mean? That was before Conviction came out, mind you. So in this new one, he's not working for Third Echelon. So he has no rules to follow. He's off the fucking grid now, man. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't if you go back and play the original Pandora's Tomorrow and also Chaos Theory, those games rely heavily on stealth, right? But at the same time, if you broke out of stealth and you got caught, you're fucked. You got to start the mission all over again, or at least from a certain checkpoint. The Conviction, he's not working for that company anymore, so he's a freelancer. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, man, because nobody's gonna school him for doing any of that shit. That's why it made sense to the story. And that's why in Blacklist, they went back to the whole entirely, you could play it stealthily, you could play it guns a-blazing, or you could be, I forget what the third way of doing it, man. Mixture of both. And
I think it was Conviction.
In their gameplay style.
I think it was Conviction I couldn't stand. Even if the story was good, I couldn't do it.
I platinumed that game, dude. That game was
fucking,
I loved every minute of fucking playing that game. This is the
one I'm thinking about. Me and my friend Chad pre-ordered that game because I used to play a lot of games with him. And we would just, like, what we used to do, we used to sit there and play games on the hardest difficulty and just pass the controller. And I remember I think it was that one, Conviction. That was the one where it told you to go behind a wall or do this for, it was telling you different ways of entry. No, I wasn't feeling that one.
Now, that one to me, because the reason why I had so much fun with that game is because I just loved toying with the enemies, man. Like basically like cat and mouse is basically what like the term that Ubisoft is, and that's exactly what I did. Like it was so satisfying, like like going and like walking like along the ledge of like a window cell, open the window quietly, shoot out the lights, and like what the fuck, you know what I mean? And then just fucking with them, dude. And that's what gave Conviction to me so much excellent replay value. I had so much fun with just that mechanic of itself, man. It was fucking dope, dude. I loved it. It was so, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. I mean, I guess, believe me, trust me, when I expressed my opinion on the actual Ubisoft forum when that game came out, I got crucified. But I explained to people why it made sense to the story, and they still wouldn't believe it, man. They were just like, whatever. People, it's those stubborn fans that don't want to accept something different. Even if the story does make sense or doesn't make sense, they just don't want to accept it. Like I said, now at the same time, like I had stated in my Final Fantasy 15 video that I recently did like 2 days ago, my Bear Rant video I had stated, man, I said when a game goes a drastic different change, man, it's welcomed every once in a while. Sure, you might have your odd offset games that don't work well in a certain criteria. Like for example, like back when Castlevania fucking was like a Metroidvania style kind of game, side-scrolling, whatever you want to call it. The moment when you play the N64 Castlevania game, man, it's just like nope, don't want to play, even though that game did suck. But there has been other games that have come out, like on the PS2, for example, that did fairly well in the 3D, in or breaking out that tradition of a Metroidvania style kind of game. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like Lord of Shadow wasn't that bad. It just wasn't my preferred way of playing Castlevania, but I still gave it a chance and still enjoyed it for what it was. The problem is that certain games will do it well, certain games don't do it well at all. Period. So, but I think with the direction of Final Fantasy 15 right now, I think it's good for a change. Finally, something different, man. You know what I mean? But I like the way they're doing it, though. It looks fine.
Yeah. I mean, everybody likes certain games. Like, a whole bunch of people hate Resident Evil 6, but I like it. But I do agree with people that want Splinter Cell. I can't get into it.
Yeah, Splinter Cell is definitely one of those kind of games where, like, you have the freedom. At least with Blacklist, though, like, you can approach every mission your own way. And I have to give props to Ubisoft for that because it makes those people that want to play it the old school fashioned Splinter Cell type of way, they can do it. But at the same time, they're also allowing people that just, like, don't give a fuck about that scenario to play it the way they want to play.
People don't like stealth at all. Like these gamers now are not a big fan of stealth, and that's why Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, that's a stealth.
Got a lot of flack for that, yeah.
If you don't like stealth, that game is not for you. There's no other way. You can go in guns blazing, but you're not gonna get the right scores. You're not gonna get an S rank. It's not gonna happen. You got to do it. Stealth. That game's a big stealth game.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like with Blacklist, though, it didn't matter because you got to rank for however way you played. So if you played as like as a Panther, which is like the stealth mode kind of way, man, you get like ranked for that. Or if you went in guns blazing, you can get an S rank for that way, the way you play, man. Which I thought was really a very, very good design choice from Ubisoft on their behalf because they could have just easily made that game cater to like guns blazing, and then people were like, all the hardcore fans were like, fuck you, Ubisoft, you know what I mean? Because they learned their lesson from the backlash from Conviction, sadly. But again, the hardcore dedicated fans, dude, man, like they just don't want change. They want everything to play and feel the exact fucking way, man. But they refuse to give it a chance. It boggles my mind. It's like every once in a while you have to keep, if you want to keep a series alive going for a long time, you got to keep it refreshing, man. You have to. The moment you don't, man, it's going to become stagnant and it's going to die off. No one's going to give a fuck after that point, man.
Yep, I do agree.
I like them both, Jeff. I like them both, but but like I said, I understand why people didn't like Conviction or Blacklist, but I like them both for what they were, man. They were good games in my opinion, especially Conviction. That game is so good. It is, but I get where you're coming from, though, Dave. I understand why you didn't like it, man.
Let's see. I guess Batman Arkham Knight is canceled. Well, one thing before we leave the well, hold on before I get to that. One thing with the Division, I want to say before we're done with that too. They're 1080p, 30 frames per second on both consoles, and I guess people are very upset about that.
Isn't the Xbox version using dynamic scaling for that though?
Yeah, but there's people all pissed that they're on the same. Well, what do you think the difference is?
I don't know. I don't care about the resolution.
No, I'm just saying, like,
it's not even playing field.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the difference? It's 1080p, right? At the end of the day, or
well, yeah, it's still going to be. I mean, PS4 is going to be native, but if whatever you want to call it, using dynamic. I mean, for fuck's sakes, man, Black Ops 3 on PS4 uses dynamic scaling, man. So who the fuck gives a shit? I mean, whatever.
I guess people are so mad they're saying, "Oh, Digital Foundry, check your data again," and all this.
No, it's just again, it goes back to that fucking fanboy mentality garbage again, man. Because they wanted to have something to fucking brag about for their console of fucking choice, man. It's childish playground banter bullshit.
And now you got people. Well, now you got people. Now that this has came out, they're like, "Oh, well, I was gonna get the PS4 version. Now I'm gonna get Xbox One because they're on." Like, some people like their online better. They say,
"Oh God, dude, man." You know, it's funny that you say that because I've actually seen people in this community, dude, and I laugh at them for doing this. Fucking when they sit there and like the game, like, see, the thing is, this is why I don't care about the whole resolution thing, right? Because like at the end of the day, the gameplay itself does not change. Period. The gameplay mechanics is still the same thing. The character development is still the same thing. The characters are there, blah, 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 blah. So a game that comes out on Xbox One, that's 900p, the same frame rate too as well as what the PS4 version is, but the PS4 just happens to be in 1080p, and everyone makes a big deal of that. But yeah, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, they're still playing the exact same fucking game. That's the way it is at the end of the day. So when I see people fucking get mad, like in this scenario, about how Xbox One is like, you know, the same resolution and shit. Well, dynamic scale, but so it's Black Ops 3 again, though. They're making a big deal out of that, dude. Fuck off, dude. Man, grow the fuck up and play your games, dude. Because a lot of people in this community don't play games. Period.
Yeah, 1080p on both, Sony only. Sorry, buddy. He says it isn't about bragging. I refuse to play games on PS4 that is not 1080p. But yeah, it's 1080p on both. So.
The biggest question is, though, is like how many of those games do people even understand or even realize that might not even be in 1080p?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Every game on PS4 runs in 1080p, and I guarantee you there's a lot of games that don't run at 1080p on fucking PS4, and people don't even realize that shit.
Yeah. Next thing, what I was gonna get into, I guess. Let me bring it up here again. Batman Arkham Knight.
Cancellation on Macs and was I think Linux?
Well, I guess yeah, it's not gonna be on Mac or Linux. It's canceled.
Due to all the backlash the Windows version got, I'm not surprised by that.
Yes. So no, sorry, Mac users. And now, does Mac get a lot of PC games or no?
No, Steam has a lot of love for Mac and Linux too as well, which is I have a lot of respect for Valve, especially because I mean Gabe Newell, he's already expresses how much he fucking loves Linux and Mac, dude. So I mean, I think like almost like a good percentage of all the games that are on Steam are also available on Mac as well.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm actually kind of happy for that because it doesn't leave Mac users. Because the longest time, everything was on Windows. Hardly anything came up for Mac. You know what I mean? So Valve kind of like paved that pavement way and says like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna allow Windows, Mac, and Linux. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean? And I have to give props to fucking Valve for that, man.
Yeah. So. Yep, that's some news with that. And really, that's all I got. Anything you got?
Nothing on the top of my head. No, I haven't really. News has been kind of quiet lately, man. I mean,
well, I'm surprised all the news I found today, like that stuff.
Well, a lot of trailers dropped today. That's why. Oh, here's something actually interesting. Did you see that tweet that Microsoft had done? Some guy posted an image, right, of like a PlayStation staff member, fucking, I guess, is dating some girl that works for Microsoft, I guess. Right?
Oh my God!
You seen that?
They're worried about that shit now.
No, because Microsoft, yeah, well, not from Microsoft, because they actually even did like an achievement unlock fucking photo for it or some shit on their Twitter, dude. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, but people are fucking salty about that, dude.
Well, you're not supposed to be.
Damn, man, that this whole fucking console wars shit is a made up garbage fucking thing for gamers in this community.
I think now what you're telling me.
There for.
What you're telling me is that you see a Microsoft employee with a Sony employee.
Yeah. Here, look at this.
Well, they're not. You're not supposed to, especially when it comes to like a business like that. You know, rivals like that, like a McDonald's associate can't date a Burger King. I don't think something like that. I really do. I think it's something.
How many times have we seen?
Fucking... Oh no! My bad. I could take that back. I meant you can't work at McDonald's if you work at Burger King. Like that's if it's something like that.
That's fucking dumb. Dating's fucking stupid. But no, I mean, this here, you gotta remember, like, how many times have we seen, like, so many times with, like, either Phil Spencer or somebody from Microsoft will come out and praise fucking Sony and vice versa wise. They're not like, it's not like what it used to be back in, like, the early 90s when, like, Sega was, like, jamming down Nintendo's throat every chance to get. Nintendo just sat back and took it like a fucking bitch. You know what I mean? It's like, now it's like, I told you, man, the console war is fucking pointless, man. It's just there now for something for gamers to hold on to. That's all it's there for. Why these goddamn fucking Microsoft and Sony and all them are just sitting back laughing at us for being fucking retarded. That's all it is.
The console war, though, man, is so big now. I don't think it's ever going to leave.
Never leave. Think about it.
Yeah, it's so big now. It's going to carry out every generation. It's like something now new to yell about. It's like football. Like, that's how it is. It's like yelling about your favorite football team or basketball team. That's
But yet your favorite basketball team or hockey team or whatever team it is, man, can't even win or fucking get into the goddamn playoffs, dude.
Yeah, but that's what it's become now. It's people like the media. I guarantee you there's people that just follow social media that don't even play these consoles, like to argue about them.
I mean, there's a lot of channels that have already been exposed numerous times from plenty of people in this community that only fucking do it just for fucking because it's something that's there.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't care about gaming. They just do it because it's an interesting criteria and easy to get into and easy to get views and easy to get subs for, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guarantee you, people were like to make gaming fucking content back when YouTube first started, dude. No one would give a fuck. No one would care.
I mean, they said on here, it says years later, Demon Souls fans still discovering new secrets. That's another thing of news.
Wait, read that again?
It says years later, Demon Souls fans still discovering new secrets.
Oh yeah, I believe that. The lore behind the Souls games, actually, it's really, really rich, man. Like, even in Bloodborne, like the actual lore in Bloodborne is fucking amazing. It's just up to the player to actually want to discover that for themselves. It's not right in front of your face, which is why I think a lot of people that gave flack for Bloodborne, especially on the Xbox side, because they made a big deal about it, saying, oh, there's no story behind it. Well, there is, but you have to piece it together as a player yourself. Like, that's why I was so fucking obsessed with that game, dude, because the lore behind that game is fucking incredible, dude. Especially when it's heavily based on fucking what the hell is his fucking name there? H.P. Lovecraft.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I've seen channels. A couple. There's actually two channels that I'm actually subscribed to that covered all the lore and break down everything about Bloodborne and like the Souls games, dude. And they are deep as fuck. And I love them. They're so.
I have a question. Like a person like me, like I like Bloodborne. I just started playing this. But if I played the Demon Souls and the Dark Souls 1 and 2, would I still have the same would I still like find Bloodborne that fascinating? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I haven't because somebody said that. They told me most likely the reason you do like Bloodborne a lot is because you haven't played the Dark Souls games or Demon Souls.
The Souls games, like I didn't care for them at first. I won't say I didn't like them. I just didn't care for them at first. But Bloodborne is what really showed me why the Souls games are vastly popular. It's a niche crowd, but it's big enough to actually warrant people to want sequels to come out, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I played Dark Souls 2 after I played the fuck out of Demon Souls, and I can truly understand and respect Dark Souls now, or the Souls games in general now, because while they are hard and frustrating, but at the same time, like it's the way people discover things in that game, and like the rewarding behind, like, finally killing a boss after him like killing you a billion times, that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And that's where I found that love for the fucking Souls games after playing Bloodborne. Because Bloodborne, to me, like, there's different mechanics in both games, period. You know what I mean? Because, like, when you play Dark Souls and Bloodborne, there's a lot more mechanics you're going to have to get used to, like shields and blocking and everything else like that. It's a lot different in the Souls games. So keep that in mind when Dark Souls 3 comes out. But the thing of it is that, but it still plays on each of its strengths, man. You know what I mean? Like, they're difficult, but they're rewarding. You know what I mean? The story's there, but you got to figure out themselves. The lore is there. You have to like be interested in the lore in order to keep upon that and like keep paying attention to it when you find it. But at the same time, like, I understand why the Souls games are pretty fucking popular, man, because they do deserve the credit they do give. They really do. And like, they are phenomenal games in their own way. I just didn't care for it at first, but Bloodborne finally actually broke that fucking, made me realize that the Souls games and what they truly were, and I finally understood it. Now I have a lot of respect for the Souls games now, man. And I can't wait for the third game to come out in April, man. I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah, it does look for that. Good. It looks pretty cool, the boss fights and stuff, what they showed of it.
Yep, definitely.
And the other thing I got is, I guess they're returning, the Zombie returns to Dying Light in the following, the upcoming DLC, like that. Yeah. I guess they took it out maybe or something. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know really too much about Dying Light because I haven't played it yet. Even though I've had a lot of people request, get a beer. I'll get him eventually. That's why I'm quite glad that
I mean, everybody's like saying this is like a game of the year type game. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not any like it's an average game.
I know Phil to listen would definitely disagree with you on that and probably call you a contrarian.
Yeah, but I don't know what they're talking. It's just a zombie game. It's nothing like.
I think it, from what I understand, from what I've seen from the game so far, and people can easily correct me in the chat for this because I haven't played it yet, but I think the real reason why a lot of people like failed and many others in this community that really fucking love this game is because it's the game that Dead Island should have been from the offset. Because Dead Island came out, the game was so broken, dude. Like, that game died off like hella quick, man. So when Dying Light came out, it fixed all of it, because I think it's Dying Light's from the same developers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, and it definitely brought back that feel of like what a zombie apocalypse should technically feel like, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, you feel like you're actually stuck in like this like giant open world game where, like, you know, like kind of like what fucking Dead Island should have been. You know what I mean? You know, and like the fact that you actually like, you know, jump from like, you know, like building the building, you know, free form, and actually have to like time your jumps and stuff in order to get up to a certain area and shit like that.
It's a good game, don't get me wrong, but it's not on the pedestal what they're putting it up to be. It's not.
See, I can't say that because I haven't played it yet. I can't make that.
I can say from my own experience, in my opinion, it's not where they're putting this game. Now, the game's not that good. You know?
But I mean, like, it all boils down to people's prerogatives and perspectives on how they perceive a game, right? Yeah. I mean, some people will like, you know, like me, for example, like, I love games like Operation Raccoon City, but everybody shits on that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has their own.
Like, the games I see people shitting on, like, and they're praising this, because this didn't get a lot of praise when it first came out. It was like later on.
Yeah, it was definitely a sleeper hit for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I like the game though. The story though is not a great story. And how could you have a great story with a zombie game? It's very basic. Like.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at it from a standpoint of like an epidemic crisis, then yeah, that's one way to perceive it as a storyline, because a lot of people tend to get fascinated with, like, you know, how did this outbreak, you know, fucking come to be, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of zombie games nowadays, they don't really explain that unless it's like you have to find files and read up on that shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, and that's what grew me into like games like Resident Evil, where like the story was like, you know, it explains stuff like how it happened and how the epidemic, and that's how I became obsessed with the lore and stuff with it, man. So I mean, that could be a plausibility. Maybe Dying Light does have a good backstory to it or something, or just a good story in general. I'm not sure. I never played it, but I don't know. But again, like, it's all 100% based on people's preference and how they perceive games, right?
Yeah, but I'm just surprised what they're doing with the game, that they're giving it enhancement and all this stuff. Like, it's kind of just weird. Like, they're going to enhance the graphics on consoles, and you know they're doing that, right?
Yeah. I was reading about
that. It's just weird that they're, you know, I think it's cool because I get a free little like enhancement and stuff on my game. That's why I'm waiting to finish it, because I'm like kind of right at the end, and I'm just waiting to finish it with the enhancement. Other than that, Ubisoft finally lets the cat out of the bag with Assassin's Creed Identity. I think it's like an iOS game or something. It says Ubisoft has finally released its first official footage of the upcoming Assassin's Creed Identity, an action RPG based on the series set in the Italian Resistance. I think it's February 25th, released on iOS. So they're not.
So they're not technically taking a break from Assassin's Creed.
No.
Like people will argue that and say like, well, they are because it's not a main entry. But that's the thing, though. It's still fucking Assassin's Creed, no matter which fucking way you look at it, man.
Yeah, they just
get the fuck out of here.
The puzzle game on PS4 or an Xbox One yet? I guess you'd consider it a puzzle game. It's Assassin's Creed. You know what I'm talking about?
They can make an Assassin's Creed bejeweled wannabe game for iPhones, and people will fucking eat that shit up.
Well, they've had Assassin's Creeds released recently, like little puzzle games for Xbox and PS4. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Whatever the hell they're called, I'm trying to bring it up right here, whatever the hell it's called. But they're basically like little puzzle games that you finish. Oh, like Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. It's basically you go around and you figure out ways to get past guards. I mean, it don't look that bad, but I don't know. It's just kind of meh. And did you hear The Witness sold really well?
Yeah, surprisingly. Yeah, it sold like pretty goddamn well, man.
Yeah, The Witness did well too. Other than that, that's all I really have. Other than I'm looking forward to the UFC too. When that comes out, I think the beta is down now because I can't even get on the beta. I thought we had today at least for the last day, but maybe they meant they're cutting it off on the 24th. But I mean, I seen this cool video today where this guy was fighting each other and they did a double knockout. Like the guy was going to kick him and the other guy was going to punch him at the same time, and they were both knocked out.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
do you see that in real life when it comes to like any form of like UFC or any kind of like MMA style kind of games? You always see people get double knockout all the time. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious, dude. That shit's funny, fucking hilarious, dude.
Another thing, it's a random topic. I guess we'll talk about. This is other than gaming, so all the gaming stuff. I'm just gonna talk about this for the end, just to talk about it. I will be talking about more of this on the Movie Tweaker podcast, but they have, I guess now since they're doing. I think it's been how long has it been since the OJ trial? You said you know a little bit about it, right?
Oh shit, I think I was in grade 5, I think, when the OJ trial was going on. So yeah, that's old.
That was 94, I believe.
Yeah. That's a long time ago. Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, it was 94. So I think it's about we're at the hold on. Yeah, it's about I think it's been 20 years since the verdict, I think, because I think that took about 20, maybe a little bit over 20 years. But I guess that's why all this shit's being brought up again. And because they did the TV miniseries called American Crime Story, The People vs. O.J. Simpson. Well, the fucking show is highly detailed, which I'll go more into the show on the Movie Tweaker thing. I'm not going to talk so much about that.
Hold on. Is that the one with Cuban Jr., right?
Yeah, it's a Jeff
playing OJ. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that shit, dude.
Yeah,
I've seen the trailer for that, man. That shit looked fucking awesome.
Well, the thing is, it's like a show. When you start watching it from beginning to end of the episode, you're like, "Whoa, it's already over!" Like, because you're wanting to see more.
Yeah. Oh god, it's gonna be another fucking 24 for me again. For fuck's sake.
Well, I was like, how much more can they tell you about OJ? Because if you were brought up in the 90s, I mean, OJ was like the trial of the century. Like that
it was. Yeah, that was a very controversial trial, man.
It was so big. You had people actually not going to work to stay home to watch it. That's how big this trial was. There was people actually not going to work to watch this trial. They were like, I'm just gonna call off today. There's a big part in the trial. Like, there was so much development in this trial where there was always some new big thing happening.
Yeah.
Like the infamous black glove. Like when OJ took
the glove does not seem to fit.
Like it does not fit. Like
fuck out of here.
What did Johnny Cochran say, or was it Johnny Cochran? He says if it doesn't fit, it's a quit or something, or
I don't know.
Some saying like that. But this case, like, there was so much different things that went on during it. It was very interesting. And with this show, like, I will talk more about it in Movie Tweaker podcast because I know Daniel wants to talk about this, but it's so damn good. It's not hard. It's very hard not to talk about it. Basically, right in the beginning of the show, they show you how these cops they show you how much they had so much evidence on OJ it wasn't even funny, but they show you at the same time how the cops were so fucking stupid and fucked up all the evidence. Like, one thing they did that, they jumped the fence. Like, they jumped the fence, like, to go get OJ, like, to see if he's home. They shouldn't have done stuff like that. The dog, basically, they show how the dog had blood all over its finger, all over its paws. And there were so many people in the crime scene when, like, different people. That area should have been, like, blocked off, and only so many people should have been left, let around that. An interesting thing I was watching last night, they did the autopsy of, like, Nicole and Ronald Goldman. It's like an updated autopsy thing. And they showed how they were, like where the first knife stabs were. And when they killed her, like, the last stab somebody did, they call it a Colombian necktie or something. It's where they slice your throat. And before, like, after because I never knew this. Like, supposedly somebody rang the buzzer for Nicole, like, because the reason Ronald Goldman went over to her house was basically because her mother, I think, lost her glasses. Don't quote me on this, but I think it was something to do with glasses. Somebody lost their glasses, and Ronald Goldman worked at the restaurant that Nicole was eating at, and they were seeing each other. So he wanted to go be the one to bring the glasses over to see her. But somebody rung. She knew he was on she knew that he was on his way over, but somebody rung that buzzer after she put her kids to bed, and she's sitting down there waiting. And they said where that scene took place is very confined, very small, enclosed place. They said there was hiding areas where somebody could hide, and basically when she went down there from the knife marks, it was almost like she must have turned around and went up, and that's when the person stabbed her in the back of the head. And then he must have been knifing her, and then Ronald Goldman shows up. They said Ronald Goldman knew karate. Like, he knew he had, like, martial arts experience. And then one of the kicks, they said he must have threw a kick at the person, whoever killed them, and it stabbed them right in the leg. Like, how the stab was, he threw, like, a side kick. But, and they even have, like, on his hands, they call them special wounds, where you're basically blocking an attack. Like, the slices were going like this. So he did put up a fight. But when it came down to OJ, all that I know of, basically, they just had a cut on his hand. But, he was a football player, so I know this sounds stupid, but he is used to, like, at times, he was in football. He suffered from many injuries. Maybe, maybe that wasn't nothing from what he was hit by, and when he's playing football. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's always, like, those plausible scenarios, but yeah, that's what makes the OJ case so extraordinary to listen to. Like, if you go back and actually watch all this shit, like, before the show even came out, you went back and actually read up on that crap, dude. Like, it was such a fucking weird trial, dude. Like, it went on and on and on for months, dude. It was fucking nuts.
Well, OJ was very well liked. Nobody could believe that he did this. Like, he was people don't realize how popular OJ was. He was like Kim Kardashian or something. He was like one of them.
Dude, he was in fucking movies, man.
Yeah. he was a huge football player. Not the biggest football player, but he was well liked. And he was in The Naked Gun. He was in movies. It was OJ Simpson. Like, if you watch the show, you could even you hear him talking, like, he's like, I'm the juice. He's like, when they get him in handcuffs and they have it, and he sees it on TV, he's like, oh no. He's like, they got the juice in handcuffs. Why'd they do that? That's wrong. I was handcuffed for 5 seconds. Because for example, if you were in the United States, this is how it works over here. I'm just saying, like, it was me and you were in the United States and we committed a crime like that, or even was a suspect in a crime like that. We would be locked up, no questions asked. You'd be locked up. There would be no roaming free, no nothing. You would be immediately locked up. But since OJ had so much pull and he was so big, they let him, roam around. And they said he could have been contaminating evidence, throwing evidence away. He had time to do all that.
Yeah. It's possible, yeah.
They even brought up on the show I was watching last night that, this guy offered to one of his friends in football, offered him to pay all this money to look for the real killer. And he said, no, it's all right. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it, And then they say, yeah, like offering to look for the real killer.
Yeah, that's not convincing at all.
Yeah, and then the funny thing, like when they did the interrogation, like you have him saying like all different time frames. They're like, well, when was your daughter's recital? When did you go do that? Maybe 3, 4, 5. When did you do this? 6, 7, 8. No, maybe 7. And then they're like, how'd you get that cut on your hand? Well, I was in Chicago and I broke a glass, and then I play golf. Like he's saying things all along with everything. But what a lot of people don't know, after the OJ trial, when he was found not guilty, they did a civil trial which he flunked, and he was pronounced guilty. He owes the Goldman family all this money today for those murders. Like he was found guilty. He was put on the stand, and that's what saved his ass. Like he did not get on the stand in the first trial. They didn't have him on the stand. But the second trial, he had to take the stand, and they said they nailed him. But this thing was really cool. It was like an autopsy thing. They show how they were like killed, like. It was, you wouldn't believe the number of times they were stabbed. Like you could tell, okay, if it was somebody that was going to rob them, they wouldn't stab them that many times. It was definitely somebody that was pissed off that went over there to fucking knife them. Like they weren't playing around. They even had like somebody said, during the trial, because they had to look at other people too, and they said maybe it was something to do with somebody that she owed money for drugs. They were trying to say, the defense of OJ was trying to put it off like Nicole was a drug addict, but they found no drugs in her system when they did the autopsy. Like,
it's amazing how the fucking society fucking of all that shit works out, right?
And what this
back in the day, man.
What one more thing I want to say, because I want to save some of it for Movie Tweaker podcast. One thing this show does make you very aware of right off the rip, that this all took place around the Rodney King incident. Like, this was when all the Rodney King riots were going on, Rodney King. And that was a big thing that helped OJ. Like, that was a big thing that, Johnny Cochran used, what he pulled the race card. And it worked because you had police like the Mark Furman guy. He was involved in racist stuff with, police investigations. Like, Johnny Cochran was a badass lawyer, I mean, that was the dream team. That's what they called the dream team, other than the basketball team and your podcast, Bear Hugger. This was the dream team of court.
Mm-hmm.
But it's next episode's going to be called the run of his life. It's going to be the OJ chase. That looks good, and then after that's going to be the dream team episode. But it's a 10-part series. Hour each. Like, I'm telling you, like, if you have any interest in crime or anything like that,
I'm definitely gonna watch that now, dude, because that sounds fucking sick as fuck, dude.
Yeah, like anybody like that don't, especially if you don't know much about the OJ trial, this would be a blast to watch. Even like for somebody like me that knows a lot about it, it's still a blast because there's stuff I had no clue about that I'm learning, and I was like, when they first announced this, I was like, how much could they do on this show how much could they show that they didn't show before, but they do,
And what makes it even more interesting too as well, it's like having somebody big like Cuba Gooding Jr., even though he's been out of Hollywood now for quite some time, he's been doing a lot of like budget films and stuff too, man. But like, when I saw the trailer for it too as well, I was like, dude, he's like a perfect fucking fit for playing like,
I don't know.
OJ, man.
I didn't think he looked like OJ, but now that I'm watching the show, I kind of see it. But he's such a fantastic actor.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like John Travolta as Robert Shapiro.
Yep.
The only one I have a problem with is the one who plays Kris Jenner, Selma Blair. My bad. Who's the one that's playing Kris Jenner? And that's another thing with this whole thing. They try to make you very aware of the Kardashians. The Kardashians had really nothing to do with the OJ trial. It was just her husband, Robert Kardashian. That's it. It was nothing to do with the family of the Kardashians. Like they're trying to make you aware when you're watching the show. Like when they go to OJ's, Nicole Simpson's funeral. They try to make you aware that Khloe and Kourtney's there. They say their names, and then there's a part in the show where OJ's threatening to kill himself in fucking Kim Kardashian's bedroom, and Robert Kardashian's like, "Oh, don't do this, OJ. Not in my kid's bedroom. Not in Kimmy's bedroom." Like they're making you aware, but there is a lot of truth in this series, but there is bullshit. Like, Kato Caitlin was on TV. That's OJ's friend, which really in real life, that was Nicole's friend, but they're portraying it to be OJ's friend. He was more of Nicole's friend. He even said that. They do this scene where Kato Caitlin brings burgers into the room, and he goes, "Oh, finally." OJ's like, "I'm starving," and they're eating, and he goes to Kato. He goes, "Oh boy, you sure love them burgers, don't you, Kato?" And Kato Caitlin on TV says, "I don't even eat red meat." Like they're having him like eat burgers. He don't even eat red meat. So there's some stuff that's just made for TV. And they portrayed Kato Caitlin as like a stoner, like Garth from fucking Wayne's World. Like,
yeah, he got a lot of exposure too as well after that trial was done as well.
Oh yeah, well a lot of them did. A lot of people became
a lot of exposure, man.
Mm-hmm. But unless you want to add anything else, I think I'm done with this podcast, Bear.
I can't think of anything else, man.
Yeah, I think pretty good.
I do recommend checking out the new season of X-Files, man. It's been a long time since X-Files, fucking has been in the midst of being on TV, but that first episode, man, got me immediately fucking hooked, bro. Holy shit.
Now, I have a question. Like, I didn't watch a lot of the X-Files growing up. I watched it when it first aired and all that, but I didn't keep up with it. Like, because I couldn't get into it. Now, today it might be a different story. So if I watch this series, did I have to watch the other X-Files?
No. You don't have to, man. Because there was a lot of seasons that I skipped out on, but the only reason why I got into it back in the day, I think it was around near when it was almost done, because my sister was obsessed with that TV show. So I started watching it with her and shit like that, dude. And I kind of understood, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty fucking good. But this new one, it kind of explains, you hear Dave Duchovny at the very beginning of the first episode, kind of explaining all the events, and it shows a lot of the cases for that they did in amongst all the seasons of when the show was still on the air. So you don't really have to watch it to get a better understanding to it. And it definitely plays to its strength in the sense of making it somewhat refreshing and new, especially for new people. Because the show's been out the air for a long time. Very long time.
That was on 10 seasons, that show.
Yeah, but what makes this show really stand out amongst to me the most, and what it's definitely going to pull in a lot of people, man, is that they bring up a lot of conspiracy theories, man, that people are talking about to this very given day, which I thought was really, really bizarre for them doing that. Because normally with a TV show, they always make up, fairy tale bullshit, right? Like made up stuff for TV. But no, they were talking about a lot of shit that people are still talking about to this very given day, as far as conspiracy theories and shit like that, with governments and extraterrestrial stuff that people actually believe in to this very given day. So having that in there, and as far as modernizing it in the sense too as well, is a very, very, very amazing way to get people into watching that show, new and old for sure, man.
Mm-hmm. Hydrofame says for those of you Hydrofame says for those of you who are old enough to remember, he only beat that shit because Rodney King had just caught a beating from the cops and LA riot. Well, yeah, see, the one thing with all that, even though with what went on with Rodney King, he was, Rodney King, wasn't he high on drugs when he was riding and shit, running from the cops? Do you remember it, Bear Hugger?
Barely.
I know Rodney King wasn't up to no good when now I'm not saying what they did. Now what was wrong with it, they beat the shit out of the guy. That isn't right at all. But with all that going on, that is some of the shit. I agree with Hydro. They saved OJ's ass. See, Johnny Cochran, he used that. They show a part in the episode, the first episode. Johnny Cochran's riding in a limo, and he is not on the defense of OJ yet. He just he's aware of the case and everything. And it was, all these radio hosts are, talking, and he's listening to an African American radio station, and they're basically talking about, they're like, man, they got OJ in cuffs. That's wrong. They're like, you know that guy Jeffrey Dahmer that fucking ate people? He ate people. No, that's how they go. They're talking to two people, and they go, Jeffrey Dahmer, he ate all these people, killed these people, and motherfucker ate people, and I didn't see Jeffrey Dahmer as in handcuffs like OJ. That's what they're trying to say. So it sparks, right there, pretty much sparks an idea for Johnny Cochran.
Even though that's not entirely true, because Jeffrey Dahmer did get fucking yeah.
Yeah, but what at this time though?
At the time,
that you didn't see Jeffrey Dahmer in handcuffs like you're seeing OJ. That's what they were saying. Like that was a big thing, OJ getting handcuffed, because you know how they got that? I didn't know this. The paparazzi snuck behind the fucking house. They took OJ behind the house to handcuff him the first time just to make it, legal and everything. And then and then his lawyer showed up and said, "Hey, are you arresting him? What are you doing?" They're like, "Oh, we're just making it something." But that's where they first learned that OJ was a suspect, because one of the paparazzi snuck behind and videotaped the whole thing of him being handcuffed. They weren't supposed to. Yeah.
Gotta love paparazzi, man. If they want to get shit fucking exposed, they'll find a way to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you learn a lot from this, like that you didn't know. Like, there's a part with the defense where the guy that worked with Marcia Clark, I can't think of his name right now, but they show that he was actually with Johnny Cochran, and then he was talking to Johnny Cochran. He was getting tired of being in the office, and Johnny Cochran gave him advice, go do you. And I think that's when he went to the DA's office, and I don't understand that part. I'm a little lost on that. But Marcia Clark had an affair with him during the trial. You'll learn a whole bunch of that shit, with this. But it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward. I wish they just fucking released all the episodes. I hate them at the wait week to week, because a lot of shows nowadays you can just binge watch them like on Netflix and shit. But a lot of these TV shows you still gotta watch week to week to week. It just sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks, Bear Hugger, for joining the
podcast. Anytime, buddy. Anytime, man.
Yeah. Look forward to. Like I said, there will be eventually probably a time where I take a break for like 2 weeks of podcast. I don't think it'd be right away, but it's gonna happen. But all right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Until next.
By the way, Dave, are you live streaming again tonight? You said.
I don't know.
My download's going right now, so it should be almost done, man. It might even be done right now.
If yours gets finished soon, yeah, I'll live stream again. If yours gets finished,
I'll take a look at my download there after we're done.
I just haven't been staying up lately, because I was like tired all day and walking into shit, I do it. I go from time to time where I'll stay up. I can do like the no sleep thing all the time, but eventually it wears me down to where I have to stop doing that, and then I go to a different schedule. But yeah, I was just getting burnt out. It's like I was working on my landlord at the time, and I would stay up all night and then go to sleep at like 9 or sometimes sometimes even 11, going to work at 12, sleep an hour, 2 or 3, and then be a zombie all day like The Walking Dead. And I can do it, but it's funny, like I'll be 30
after a while, man. It happens to me a lot too as well, so I don't feel bad.
Well, see, I'll be 32 in March. Now, when I was like 20 something, I didn't understand what people always said. Oh, when you get older, you'll feel it. When you start getting older, you do realize you're not as capable as you used to be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's like a lot of that energy, man, from the younger years, man, is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
that kind of shit.
And I used to always say, "Oh, I'll be able to do shit forever," and I'm still young. I'm only in my 30s, but it does.
You're not even halfway there yet.
Yeah, it catches up after a while, but
it does. But there's one thing I just want to announce real quick to let like people who actually are subbed to both of our channels, just let them know real quick. So my monitor that I was using for the PC front, my old fucking monitor that I've had for like 15 fucking years, finally took a shit today. So I have my computer now hooked up to my TV. So when I do my live streams now for my gameplays now on either channel, it's going to be done through the PS4 now, and I'm also going to activate like the way Dave has his set up, like we can see the chat, in order for me to see the chat.
The chat wasn't working today on my shit. Now that's the problem with Sony. Sometimes their chat don't work on the screen, because I think somebody asked her, like, why isn't the live chat in there? And I was seeing the live
chat. I saw it fine on my end. I saw it updating on my end when I was watching your Black Ops stream today.
Some people, I seen it on mine, but some people were claiming they couldn't see it, But I did see in the live, when I was watching it live, I didn't see the live chat, so I don't know. Sony has issues like that, and so does Microsoft. Yeah. Their live stream is...
But I mean, certain times, like if I have somebody like in a call or in a hangout or something like that can like read off the questions or just like comments, whatever you want to call it, then I'll do like a regular one through my Media device. But until I get myself a secondary monitor later on down the road.
I get what you're saying. That's gonna fuck you up where you can't see the live chat when you're playing.
Yeah, unless I live stream it through the PS4, which I'm thinking about doing. And plus, on top of that, I've come to realize that when I do it from the live stream on PS4, it's actually somewhat better for me to start doing that now because, a, it's putting my video out there on the PS4, but on top of it too as well, it's like fucking where if I do it like a custom one on my end through a media device, only my subs and like people on Twitter can see it in Google Plus, right? Whereas when I do it on the PS4, it does it to both. I can set it to both Facebook and Twitter and do whatever. But on top of that too as well, there's also people that watch these live streams to their PS4 that may not even know who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? And I've noticed that a lot of the times when I do live streams for certain games through the PS4, that I always gain new subscribers and new viewerships and everything too as well. So I'm gonna start doing it from that way from now on in.
Oh yeah, well they help. I'll say one thing about the PS4 and Xbox with their Twitch. Like I have got to the top of the list on the Xbox before. PS4 has helped. They put my videos out there. Now some live streams don't get a lot of views, but majority of them get a decent amount of views, so they do help you. So that's one good thing. The only drawback with PlayStation streaming certain games, they don't let you stream certain content. That's due to not having a capture card. So there is some stuff like
you're limited with that, but
yeah, Batman Arkham Knight, they're not going to let you show the one part of the game. Stuff like that. But overall it's a good streaming service. I think it works fine. I think it's a good streaming device.
Yeah, so I'm going to be using that for a while and some of that. But for those of you out there that want to see what kind of monitor that I used to use, dude, man, here for a laugh, have a look at that. That monitor is so fucking old, dude. Oh my god. I'm surprised it even lasted that long. I guess that was back when Sony was actually making good, reliable products, man. But yeah, it finally fucking just crapped out on me today, man. Just crapped out, man. But
yeah,
I was blown away fucking years, man.
I was blown away when I seen that when you showed it to me.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what I mean. I don't care enough for PC to give a fuck, to be honest. But either way. But now though, it's like, dude, I should have did it with my TV from the offset, dude, because everything is just way more crisp now on my TV, dude. I fucking love it, dude. But that's the only drawback from it, though. But there is a workaround for it, though. So, but there will be times when I'll do a live stream and I'll make sure I put in the title like "Will Not See Live Chat," that way you guys know and some of that. So, but either way, don't worry. I'm still gonna keep content going to you guys. You get nothing to worry about, man. It's all fine.
Yeah, I ran into that same problem. I don't know if I can show it. I'll show you guys real quick what happened with me. I think I ran the same area as Bear Hugger did. I was almost fucking shit out of luck because I wouldn't have been able. I do a lot of live streaming and it would have drove me nuts. I couldn't deal with that. Like I do feel for you. That's what happened.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I got lucky in a way, but it still drove me nuts. The chat shows up over here, so I was able to see the chat, but it still was fucking annoying. So I went out and got this PC, and I had to hook it to the computer. Huh?
Oh, look at that side now. All like rainbow colors now and shit.
Well, yeah. Well, that's just the cover. It works. You can actually.
Oh, okay.
But the problem was there's nothing wrong with this. Like they repaired this, but I think they repaired it wrong. The screen's not cracked. The screen is actually fixed. It was cracked before, but I think there's just something loose. They didn't install it right. There's nothing wrong. Like it's not broken. I don't know why it did this. I really don't. I didn't drop it. Like they repaired this computer, but that's what I was going through, and I was having to look at it sideways, like, plug it into the TV, get it all set up where I had Twitch, and then unplug it, and I could see the chat, but it was annoying as shit. So this computer is used for one thing that I won't talk about.
Porn?
That's all that's used for. That's all that's used for.
Let's be honest here, Dave. It's for the porn, man. It's all good.
No, it's good. It's for my porn and my movies.
Oh, there you go then.
No, but yeah, it sucks. It was a good computer for a while, but I don't know. Like I told you before the podcast, I usually just buy the Walmart computers for $400, but this is the first one I bought from Best Buy. It's a good computer, but eventually
I was looking at it the one day when you showed it on camera the one time. Yeah, it looks pretty sweet.
Well, this is the guy. It's a Levo, or it's a good brand. I like it. The only drawback, it's 4 gigabytes of RAM.
Better than mine. I only got 2 in mine.
If I would have known, I would have spent a little bit more to get 8 gigabytes. I don't really pay attention to that shit, but it works good. The guy at Best Buy said this would do fine for what I wanted it to do. There is times where you know, I don't know if it's because of Windows 10 or whatever. It's something like if I'm in the podcast, it will like act like it's going to shut the podcast off, and it'll say something about the driver. But I think it's to do with Windows 10. But that's the podcast, guys. More podcasts to come. Thank you all for watching. Later.